So where can we legally ride our mountain bikes? Well, anywhere that you have the permission from the landowner, you can ride. But as most of us don't know the landowners on the land that we ride over, it's important we use the public rights of way which exist, and we can find these out from maps. It's important also to note you can't ride your bike on a pavement alongside a road. The different types of maps have different ways of showing the rights of way. The common maps that you'll see will be Ordnance Survey 1 to 25,000, 1 to 50,000, and more increasingly these days, Harvey's maps. So here we've got a key from an Ordnance Survey map. You can see lots of different types of rights of way there. The ones which we're interested in are everything except footpaths and permitted footpaths. You do have a right to ride your bike on bridleways, byways open to all traffic, roads used as public paths, and off-road cycle routes or other routes with public access. So let's zoom in on this area. This is part of Windlatter Forest in the Lake District, part of the Thornthwaite Forest. We've got an off-road cycle route marked on the right, moving into the middle of the screen there with the orange dots. And then there's a bridleway also crossing through the forest. Again, there's a lot of permissive riding there through the forest trails. Coming on to Cody Brennan, another area very popular with mountain bikers, we can see that there's not actually that many public rights of way. Obviously, there's a lot of permissive rights there that the Forestry Commission allow, and they've actually built trails for us to ride on. We've got an off-road cycle route shown on the right of the screen with the orange dots. We've got an other road with public access on the left with the green dots, and a few footpaths. You can see there's lots of tracks across there marked on the ground, but they're not actual legal rights of way. This is a 1 to 25,000 scale, and the next one, this map here, is the same area, Cody Brennan, but shown on a 1 to 50,000, a slightly older map as well. You can see we've got the similar lines and symbols, but this time they're marked in pink. So the short dashed lines are the footpaths where we're not allowed to ride, the long dashed lines are the bridleways where we can ride, and then we've got the crossed line just at the bottom of the screen in the middle, which is a byway open to all traffic where we can ride, and on the right of the screen we've got another route open to all traffic, so we can ride on those. Again, look around the forest there, lots and lots of trails and tracks, but not a lot of actual legal rights of access. So we're very fortunate that the Forestry Commission let us ride there and actually build the trails for us. And finally we move on to one of my favourite routes. I'm going to show you the different types of rights of way we use going on this route around the Dark Peak area of the Peak District. So we start off, we can follow the yellow roads, nice and straightforward and simple. Then we take a right turn down the byway open to all traffic where the mouse cursor is following now. You can ride your bike quite happily there. Back onto the road and along onto a major road there, and then we take a left turn onto the bridleway and drop down through the Blacker Plantation. Good bit of forestry downhill, highly recommended. And we follow that all the way along to the bottom there, across the fields, more bridleway, so we're perfectly allowed to ride on there. There's a few gates that you have to go through and negotiate. There's a bit of a ford at the bottom there, and then we start to come back up the hill. It's quite a interesting climb back up over a field onto the road. Turn down the road, and then we follow back along the byway open to all traffic past the outdoor centre, back across Hounkirk Moor. It's a very gritty road that. Over the top, over the crossroads we went through already and down into Ringlow. And then we're going to do some road riding for a little bit. It's quite nice downhill and quite quiet roads. You can see on the left here, not to do with us, but this is a permissive path. It's one we can't ride on, but if you were a foot walker you would be able to go down there. Following the road now round to the bottom of the Red Mize reservoirs. There's a few more permissive paths just in there. No permissive bridleways though, unfortunately, but we're still okay because we're on a nice quiet road. Follow that up as the road runs out. We then come onto a more ancient road, which is actually a byway open to all traffic up to the Stanage Pole. And then there's the Long Causeway, which is a route which we do have access to, shown by the green dots. And finally, we come down through the Stanage Plantation. That's a pretty steep causeway ride, which you've already seen in some of the other sections. A good level 3 type descent over blocks. So now we'll look at the Harvey's maps. We have here the key from a 1 to 25,000 Superwalker map. The bridleway shown with the open circles, and the trail on the ground shown by the long dashed black line. So this is the same area we've looked at in the Peak District. Moving up from the Lady Bale Reservoir, You'll see a clear bridleway coming from right to left across Blacktor. That's in comparison with what a footpath looks like on a Harvey's map, which is the red dots that you can see there. And if we move across onto the 1 to 40,000 mountain maps, similar symbols that Harvey's use, again the same area, you can see the same bridleway with the open circles marking the route. If you want to know where to ride, you can also have a look in guidebooks like the ones that are being shown here. And whilst they're always keen to point out that the route shown in a guidebook doesn't give a guarantee of a right of way, it certainly gives you a good idea of places you can check out using your Ordnance Survey maps. Some of the cycling guidebooks actually contain sections of OS map for you to plan your route. You may of course choose to go to a mountain biking trail centre such as Cody Brennan, where there are already permissive trails marked in the forest or in the moorland area, and there's actually a guidebook here for those as well.